go. Welcome in to Talk the Line. I'm Sara Perlman here with Geoff, Schwartz, of course, former NFL lineman, and Jason McIntyre, Fox Sports' very own gambling analyst. I have to say, I'm a little bit upset that the NFL season is coming to an end, but these games today, you guys, are going to be incredible. That's right, we're getting you guys ready for the conference championship round beginning in just a little bit. And the goal of this show normally would be 60 questions, 60 minutes, just 2 games today. So we're doing 30 questions in 30 minutes. We're going to try to get to 30 questions. Sometimes we're all a little long-winded. So if you have any questions you want us to answer right now, use the hashtag TalkTheLine on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, go on the Facebook group. It's Talk the Line there. Drop your questions in there or tag us on Twitter at Geoff Schwartz, at Jason McIntyre, or myself at Sara Perlman. Again, hashtag Talk the Line. We're going to try to get to them here in the next half an hour. Geoff, J-Mac, are you guys excited?
We waited all week for today, like all week, all the talking, the analysis, the X and O's breakdown, the gambling stuff. It's all for today, and I cannot wait for these games to start, Jason.
Yeah. 2 great quarterback matchups, right? I mean, it should be good weather in both games, perhaps 2 snow games. We'll see. But yeah, very stoked for the end of the season.
All right, let's get up to the fan questions. Let's see the first one on the board today. Derek R. I know these games will be close, but is there any sweatless winners out there? I don't know if there's any sweatless winners ever, but let's check out the board odds provided by Fox Bet and check out the lines for today. Tampa Bay and Green Bay. Green Bay laying 3.5, and then Buffalo and Kansas City. Kansas City, this line's moved give and take over the last few days. Now Kansas City laying 3.5. J-Mac, I'll start with you on the question 1. Definitely not any sweatless winners, but tell me who you think you'll sweat the least about.
Yeah, Derek, I mean, if you want a sweatless winner, go play Mega Millions, because you ain't winning that, and you don't even need to sweat it. But listen, there's no such thing in gambling. Come on, Derek. You've been watching us all season long. This weekend in particular is brutal. I mean, the markets are super tight. Lines have barely budged all week. It's difficult to find an edge anywhere. If you're asking me, Jay, where's your money at? You guys know. I like the 2 money line parlay, the favorites at home. It's very chalky, very square. I will be roundly mocked on the internet for this, but I think that's the safest play. The Chiefs money line and the Packers money line, you put them together, depending on where you get it, what time, it could anywhere from, good value as like $100, pockets like $1.68. I think that's probably my best bet, but you're going to sweat that one too, just so you know.
Jason, you led me onto this on Thursday, on our Thursday show. Green Bay first half. I started doing some data on this, some research. That feels like my favorite bet of the weekend. Green Bay first half on the money line, just straight up money line. Green Bay number 1 in the NFL in first half scoring, the number 3 in first half scoring defense. And they just kind of keep the pace slow as well. So give me Green Bay first half money line.
I love that. I also love Green Bay first half over 13.5 total points. That line around 13.5 to 14 before kickoff. You want to get that one. That's my favorite so far of the one I'll probably sweat the least, but trust me, I'll be drenched by the end, very upset with everything going on, probably. Anthony T, 4 teams remaining. Do we like the sides or the totals more? Geoff, what do you like better?
The sides are interesting, right? Because we have that hook in both of them, right? So Kansas City has gone out to 3.5 now. So if you like Buffalo, this is your time to pounce, right? This line has been 3 all week, knowing Mahomes was going to play. Now it's officially announced. Now the line has moved out. I think Buffalo is the side here to take if you're looking for the best value. On the flip side, probably Tampa Bay is the side to take. Now, I don't like Tampa Bay this weekend, but that's where the value is probably at in those contests.
Yeah, I actually am looking at a total. I believe we went toe-to-toe on this Thursday, Geoff, but I'm looking really at Buffalo KC over. It looks like it's ticked up half a point, perhaps. Yeah, 55 now. I think it was 54, 54 and a half when we talked Thursday. Just with Sammy Watkins looking like he's a go, Clyde Edwards-Helaire also a go. We know by now Mahomes is going to play. I think Buffalo will have success offensively. Geoff, you've said it a million times. Chiefs, the worst red zone defense in the NFL. And I pointed out that the Buffalo Bills defense in the postseason, a ton of Fugazi garbage in that defense. They're just getting lucky. That will end. I like this to be a high-scoring game, and I like the Chiefs to pull it out.
With the hook, give me the Bills. I'll talk about them for the rest of the show, as you guys know. But I love the 3.5. I'll grab it strictly because of the hook. That's my favorite play. Okay, third question of this afternoon, Marshall B. Before firing off, I gotta know where the public is. Normally, unfortunately, that's where I am. Producer Conrad, which teams are seeing the most public money right now?
Hey guys, I was actually pretty surprised to see where the public was at this week. I mean, I would think with the two favorites in Kansas City and in Green Bay themselves that they would be where the money is, but I was completely wrong. Tampa Bay is seeing 52% of the bets and 77% of the money. Buffalo is seeing 63% of the bets and 69% of the money. So it looks like the guys aren't backing the big dogs here.
Does that change your mind on any of the bets, Geoff?
No, I like the Packers already. And I think that Jason's point about the money line parlay for this option for this day is probably the best way to go. And that bodes well for both these bets.
Yeah, I'm surprised the public is on Tampa Bay. Tom Brady is an underdog. Of course they're on. You know, they were all over Brady last week, and they got a gift. I mean, Drew Brees, 3 interceptions in his own end. The Jared Cook fumble up a touchdown. You know, the public, hey, what's the saying? You follow the sheep and you get slaughtered. I do not like Tampa Bay at all. I think Green Bay is the much better side. I'm kind of with Sarah, and the Bills are plucky at 3.5.
It's funny. We're all in agreement with that. So let's hope Green Bay comes home in the first game of today. All right. Let's see. Bradley A. No chance those Bucks walk out of Lambeau with a dub. Hashtag go pack go. Well, let me tell you something. The weather in Green Bay, I think, benefits Aaron Rodgers. Let's head down to meteorologist Allison to get the latest to see how this will affect this game, you guys.
Snow is in the forecast in Green Bay as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers host Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in this year's NFC Championship game. A snow system will be moving through the region Sunday morning with lingering snow showers into the early afternoon. 2 to 4 inches in total are expected. But the best chance to see snow flurries during the game will be around kickoff. After that, things will be calming down. But temperatures for the entire game will be in the upper 20s. We will see after Tom Brady's year spent on the Florida beaches if he can still play a January game in these wintry conditions.
You know, J-Mac and Geoff, it is kind of funny. We think of Tom Brady now as this Tampa guy, and he said, what the heck was he doing in the North for all those years? But listen, he's familiar with the weather and cold weather in particular, of course, and he could play in it. He's played a lot of playoff games in frigid conditions. So, J-Mac, I'll start with you. How do you think this game plays out, and does the weather affect this one?
Yeah, you know, some guy on social media put out a Yale study from about 15 years ago showing that there is an impact when you go from a warm weather to a much colder weather to play a game. I think the line of demarcation was somewhere around 50 degrees. And of course, it's like 75 in Tampa, 25 in Green Bay. So that kind of applies. I don't know. What are you going to give it? Like a quarter point, a half point? I don't think it's worth a full point, but it does. I think there's some aspect to it that applies here, but you can't really fully quantify it, so it's difficult to say. But listen, Tom Brady, as you said, Sarah, he's been in big games all his career. He's played in Denver in the AFC title game, played in New England. Like, not a huge factor for him. I am curious how guys like Godwin and Evans and Fournette, how will they handle wearing much thicker, warmer clothes? They're not going to be out there in T-shirts, I don't think. Right, Geoff?
Let's hope not. I have a firm rule. If you're out in your T-shirt warming up before the game, you're losing the game. So please do not do that. So if you look and see if there's a shirtless guy warming up, bet the other side. Look, there's more than just Tom Brady who plays in the Bucs, right? The weather could affect multiple other players on the team, especially on the sidelines between drives. We know that the Green Bay likes to grind out games, right? They are very slow pace of play team, and that could affect Tampa Bay on the sideline, just sitting there the entire time. Their offensive line, their skill position players. So yes, weather could be a factor in this game. To Jason's point, I don't think it's a determining factor of how you would wager on this game, but definitely there's something to the weather.
Okay, let's see what's coming up next. I'll get into the weather later and with totals. You'll stick around for our 3 big takeaways at the end of the show. Thomas R., will Tom Brady put it on the Packers yet again? Well, in the first matchup between the two in week 6, he threw for 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, but you pointed it out. There were 2 big mistakes by Aaron Rodgers in that matchup. But now his total, 1.5 passing yards, over juiced, minus 213. Geoff, what do you think?
I would stay away from this one with the juice. That's a lot of juice there, minus 213. I mean, maybe even look to the under if you want to sprinkle something on this. I think 2 is about right. So that's kind of the number I'd go for, but I would not put this on the over. They have to generate turnovers to score against good teams. It's been very clear now, the first Packers game and now the Saints game. If they don't generate turnovers, Tom Brady is not thrown for 2 touchdown passes. So I would just stay away from this.
It's interesting. So the total is what, 52-ish? So, the sports books are basically saying this is like a 27-24, 28-24 kind of game when you look at the total and the spread. So that would be 3 touchdowns for Tampa. Are they getting 2 on the ground? Are they getting a special teams touchdown? Are they just kicking a lot of field goals? I'm with Geoff. I would avoid that because of the juice. Obviously we know Brady's capable of 2 touchdowns. And I think the general public will look at this and say, 2 touchdowns for the GOAT. Come on, that's a layup. And they'll foolishly lay the juice, but I would advise to stay away from it.
Yeah, big stay away, I think, from all of us. Minus 213. We don't want to touch that. Okay, 6th question of the show on Talk the Line. Remember, submit your questions. Use the hashtag Talk the Line or Twitter or in our Facebook group. Nick P., finally, some respect for the Mafia. What's the best way to bet on my Bills? As we know, in Kansas City, weather conditions are going to play a factor. It looks like some wind, some rain, but I'm not the professional. Let's head down to meteorologist Allison to see what's going on later today in Kansas City.
Let's take a look at the weather in Kansas City as the Chiefs host Josh Allen and the Bills in the AFC Championship game. A cold storm system will be moving across the region this weekend. Temperatures will go from the low 40s by kickoff to the upper 30s by the 3rd quarter. There is a slight chance for rain to start the beginning of the 2nd half and continue through the remainder of the game. These 2 pass-happy offenses should have good conditions for the first half, but we will see if rain plays a factor on who makes it to the Super Bowl.
So to go back to the question, what's the best way to bet the Bills? You can obviously take the game, money line, teaser, spread, look at the total. What do you think, J-Mac?
I would go back like 3 weeks when Sarah said plus 800 for the Bills or whatever the big number was, to win.
9 to 1, but who's thinking about it?
There you go. Yeah. Who's keeping track? But in all seriousness, listen, it's at 3.5 now. If this happens to tick up to 4, I think the Bills become a very attractive teaser leg, kick that up to double digits. Remember, Chiefs have not beaten a team by more than 6 since November 1st when they bludgeoned my Jets. I do think at 10, getting 10 for the Bills, that's very attractive given the offense and the potential for like a backdoor touchdown. So I would look at that. The only problem is I need another leg for the teaser. Maybe Geoff or Sarah has one for me.
I thought about the teaser as well, but the second leg, if you can tease the same game, I would tease the under to take that up to maybe, 61 and take the under. But here's the best bet, guys. It's the Bills money line. If you're a Bills fan, that's the best bet to make in this game. You're obviously rooting with your heart, but you're rooting with your head, I think. If you look at the Kansas for an upset this weekend, it rises solely on Josh Allen and what the Bills can do on offense. If you think Pat Mahomes is a little beat up, a little hurt, it's not going to be as good. You look at Buffalo's offense rolling right now, Kansas City Chiefs, not good in the red zone, haven't been able to put away opponents very well at the end of games. Feels like this is the spot for a moneyline underdog this weekend. It's the Buffalo Bills.
Right. The Bills 4-1 ATS as an underdog this season. All 4 times they covered, by the way, the game went over the total. Haven't been an underdog much, but that goes to show you. Okay, Joel K. Can Mahomes return to lead this Kansas City team back to the promised land? As we know, Patrick Mahomes a little banged up, concussion protocol, the turf toe injury. Dr. Matt Preventer does have the latest injury update on Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, thanks, Sarah. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes suffered a concussion and a big toe injury in the division round win over the Browns last week. As we know, Mahomes was limited in practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. However, he officially cleared concussion protocol on Friday, as we all know, and will play in the AFC Championship game. And FYI, players in the concussion protocol can only take part in non-contact training drills at practice, hence why he was limited all week. Well, the good news is from our data is that quarterbacks coming off of a concussion their first week back actually have an increase in productivity, which probably has to do with a combination of rest and focus during the protocol on mental acuity. And let's not forget that Patrick's also recovering from a left big toe injury as well. He's had a week for the toe to heal. His mobility should be solid, especially with a carbon fiber or steel toe plate in his shoe. This is going to be a really fun game to watch. Back to you, Sarah.
All right. Thanks, Dr. Preventure. Geoff, this is pretty crazy to hear that quarterbacks can somehow be more efficient and better after coming off of concussion protocol. But listen, the data certainly shows it. Patrick Mahomes' total for passing yards set at 310.5. But of course, he is dealing, as Dr. P said, with that turf toe injury. Yeah. What does this mean to you? Both of these injuries now leading into the AFC Championship game against a very dominant Bills team.
The quarterback stats fairly interesting, but most of the time, remember, quarterbacks are off a couple of games off concussions. It's very rare for them to come back the next week and play off of a concussion. That to me is not the concern. It's the toe, that carbon steel fiber play. I've had those in my cleats before. Not the most fun, but I'm a big fat offensive lineman. I'm a slug. I'm not moving around like Mahomes. But I like the under here for another reason. It's a lot of yards, first of all. But the Buffalo Bills in the first game just sat back in coverage, did not pressure Pat Mahomes a single time, did not bring a blitz one single time in that game. I expect the same this weekend. Let everything stay in front of them. Do not get beat by Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. I think the Bills will play the exact same way. They'll limit the deep pass, and it's a lot of yards, guys. I'll take the under.
Interesting. I do also think that's a large number, but I do want to point out at the top of the show, I said Sammy Watkins is back. It's a weird thing. Like Watkins during the regular season, not a huge deal, but for whatever reason in the playoffs, he has come up big for Mahomes. Him and Tyreek Hill's ability to stretch the field, Kelce underneath, and the run game. You know, we didn't see them at full strength last week. People are like, they didn't look great against the Browns. The Browns defense stinks. Listen, they had Darrell Williams at running back, okay? Like, he's an okay guy. No Sammy Watkins. They were throwing to the kid Pringle. Hardman, I think, had a drop. I just think full arsenal. I really like Mahomes. I would look at that over 310.5.
All right. Just under 13 minutes to answer your questions. Continue to use hashtag #TalkTheLine. We're going to try to get to them leading you up to kickoff coming up here in just a little bit. Randall C., does an old A-Rod gunsling these Bucks back home on Sunday? Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, you know, is he that old? 37 years old compared to Brady, who's like a fossil at 43. I do like Rodgers here in this spot. He was poor in the earlier meeting. I just think, you know, you look at that passing total, 2.5 touchdowns. Again, look to the overall total for the game. You know, the sports books are saying this is probably 27, 28 points for Green Bay. I would look at the over here, over 2.5 touchdown passes. Tanyan, Devontae Adams, he's got the full arsenal with Valdez-Scantling and Alan Lazard. If you watch Thursday's show, I gave out a prop on MVS. If you read my column, foxsports.com, I think this Packers offense has a lot of success today.
I would go over here for a specific reason that I liked almost last weekend as well, and that's deep passing. Aaron Rodgers, third in the NFL in passer rating when he throws the ball deep. The Bucks allow the 5th worst passer ratings. Like, there's a really big advantage here in the deep passing game for Aaron Rodgers, where I think he'll rack up a lot of yards. I would rely on him this weekend for his over prop as well. I think Aaron Rodgers is a big reason why the Packers win this game.
Right. I'm totally with you. If you like Green Bay, I feel like you love this prop, hence why we all love this. It's going to be really hard to run against that Buccaneers defense. Love the over at plus 130, and I love the odds as well. Give me some plus money there. I'll take it. Okay. Which receiver for the Bucks will stand out on Sunday? What do you guys think? Of course, we have Godwin, and we have Mike Evans, no Antonio Brown. Godwin set at 70.5, and this continues to go up before kickoff. I wrote about that. I love this. Give me the over. Next question for me, Geoff. Please tell me you're backing that trend of mine.
I will take any trend that you have. I'll go over here as well. I do think Mike Evans, though, will have a big game. He's so important in the red zone because of his ability to go up and catch the ball. I don't know if the yardage he'll get, but I would look at a touchdown prop for him. He's big in what they do in the red zone.
Yeah, the Jair Alexander angle is fascinating. He was the #1 cornerback according to Pro Football Focus, but he doesn't play in the slot. Only 25 snaps in the slot all season. With Antonio Brown out, Chris Godwin's going to play a big part in that slot offense. I think he played 58% of his snaps from the slot. Brady loves the short passes, right? Because we know that coming off the edges, the Packers are very strong on the pass rush. Brady's not going to want to get hit. I do believe Godwin. Sarah, you're onto something with that. One of the better props that you'll find in this game.
Yeah, I hope so. And if you have a few minutes now before kickoff, look at the Scotty Miller and the Cameron Braid without Antonio Brown. Those numbers are going to continue to shoot up over the next few minutes. Okay. What's the next question here, Conrad? Oscar M. Oscar always has good questions, I got to say. Looking to make my Super Bowl future bet. What's the best bang for my buck? Jason, tell this guy where to lay his money.
Again, Sarah Pearls of Wisdom, weeks ago gave you the Bills. And think about it. Listen, on the off chance Mahomes is only 80% and re-injures the toe or gets knocked out of the game again, your Bills are looking great. And I do believe in a Super Bowl matchup, they would be favored against Tampa Bay, probably a slight underdog against the Packers. But the Bills, to me, plus 300 offer the most value. And I know some people are going to say, Jay, you just picked Kansas City. Yes, we're talking about value. And I think a plus 300 Buffalo, if they play this team, Buffalo, Kansas City play 10 times. It's probably Kansas City 6-4. So there is a good chance that Buffalo plus 300 pulls out the game today and wins the Super Bowl.
If you're looking at the odds right now, I think Buffalo is that play. Now, obviously, 3 or 4 weeks ago, this number is much different. Same with Tampa, Kansas City, and Green Bay. But there's still value here because if you look at the teams that can win this, I'd feel more comfortable, like Jason said, in Buffalo over Tampa Bay. I'm not sure I feel great about Buffalo against Green Bay, but you never know in a Super Bowl. So I think Buffalo plus 300 here is definitely the way to go.
Let's try to get to a few more questions before we give our 3 big takeaways, our cheat sheets, how we're going to bet these 2 games. Larry S., would you take a flyer on both stud wideouts to score in Buffalo and Kansas City? Well, let's take a look at the odds if we can pull those up here, Conrad. And see, Hill and Diggs, both to score a touchdown. 3-1. I'd actually argue that that's pretty good value. Normally, Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs are right around minus 110 or plus 100. Geoff, what do you think?
I feel comfortable Diggs will score here. The Tyreek Hill, again, if the Bills just sit back and zone, I'm not quite sure, but plus 300, I'd spring a little pizza money on this.
Yeah, I think the guy's name was Larry. Larry, listen, man, I'm proud of you. That is a pretty exotic bet that I am going to go make right after the show. And I'll give you what. Listen, there's 3 games left in the NFL season. That's it. You got 3 games to bet. Now, if you like to gamble on the NFL draft like I do, you can find a lot of edges leading up to the draft, but you got to wait about 6-8 weeks from now to make those bets. So yeah, as Geoff said, pizza money, Hill and Diggs to score. And remember, Geoff, you know this, Tyreek Hill on those jet sweeps, those end arounds, he can really do some damage with his speed. So yeah, I think that's a fun bet plus 300.
I love NFL betting, but I don't bet on the draft. So Jason, look out for my text in a few months about that. I'll take all your advice. You know I will. Okay, let's get a few more questions in here. What's coming up next from Dave T? What should I tease on the side and total? Jason, do you like a teaser? Obviously, not much to pick from.
Yeah, we preach going through 7 and 3 all season because that makes the most sense on like every level possible. That opportunity's not there this week. They're just, I don't know what to tell you on the sides. I would actually say I would stick with the money line parlay over the teaser here. I mean, teasing you through the 0 to Green Bay plus 2.5. I don't think that the value is there for that. Doesn't make sense to me mathematically. So I would just stick with the money line parlays.
I think you could play a Packers Bucks over and a Chiefs Bills under in a teaser. That feels like something that could hit. Just a reminder, the referee doing the Chiefs and Bills games later today, Bill Vinovich, when he has refereed a game the last 7 years, has gone under 60% of the time. Little details like that, not always the reason why you bet, but a very interesting part if you like the under in this game. And I do think there are points scored in the first game. So I think an over teaser in the first game and under leg in the second game would be what I would play.
Right. So to clarify, take that total, tease it down, take the over, and then take the Bills, Chiefs, tease the total up and play the under. Love that, Geoff. All right. Some more questions coming in from Phil S. Which running back sees the most work for Tampa Bay? Let me tell you, this is tricky because I feel like when I bet on Fournette, Ronald Jones has the better day and vice versa. So I'll leave it to you guys here. Geoff, I'll start with you. Who's going to have the bigger day here for Tampa?
I think Jason hit this pretty well the other day, and I'm with him here. I think Fournette's the guy. They seem to be riding him. Playoff Lenny on social media, everyone's screaming about. I think Fournette, Jason, and maybe you could take it away here, is definitely the play to go. I think he gets over the 40 yards. They run the ball a lot on first down. It's not really the way you should be doing things, but they want to establish the run. Bruce Arians is old school in that manner. I like Fournette over here instead of Jones.
Yeah, I wrote about this on the best bets column for foxsports.com, and I do like Fournette here. Just remember another thing. Mike Pettin, the Green Bay defensive coordinator, likes to play with extra defensive backs. This is a passing league. So he'll have a lot of 5 and 6 DB sets, even on first and second down. Fournette will have a chance to exploit that. Listen, Jones is very good too. I could be on the wrong guy on Fournette, but he has been a workhorse here in the postseason. So I did take the over on Fournette. And again, this is a Packers defense that has been prone to giving up big runs. So I do believe Fournette will hit.
I'll tell you on that. I sure will. Okay. Let's get to question 16 of the day. Jim T. Sarah, are we running that Devin Singletary prop back? Jim, let's freaking do it. Let's do this thing. That's all I got to say. Today, his prop, it's gone up. I'm a little upset. It's sitting at 3.5. We could have played it 2.5 earlier in the week. That's why you have to watch our show earlier in the week and bet it then. But I'm going to be honest, and Geoff really got me into this, and I'll explain why. I love the over for plus money. 4 receptions is a ton. I understand that. But you're looking at the Chiefs team that allows the 3rd most receptions to running back. So I'm going to play that with Devin Singletary being the main guy, some short passes to him. Plus money, I'll take it. Let's do this. Next question. See what's coming up here. Few more to go. Because I already know they're taking the Devin Singletary prop. They're on it with me. Okay, Todd V. Any chances Adams gets loose on this Tampa Bay secondary? J-Mac, you like Davante Adams?
Davante Adams, let's see. 1st in the NFL in touchdowns, 2nd in catches. I think he's like 5th in yards. Yes, he can get loose against the Tampa Bay secondary. It's a bit of an overrated secondary, too. If they don't get home with the blitz, and they do love to blitz, 2nd most in the NFL, I don't like the idea of Dean and Davis being stuck out there on an island. We've seen the kid, number 23, Bunting. I forget his last name. He's got the hyphenated last name. Sorry, Mr. Bunting. He's been lit up a little bit. This is not Drew Brees they're facing. Okay, Drew Brees and his noodle arm. He couldn't get it done. Aaron Rodgers at home, big arm. I do like Davante Adams to have a big game.
Geoff, sorry to interrupt you, but we have to get to our takeaways. I think we all like Davante Adams because we like Green Bay. So, Geoff, we got a few minutes left here. I'm going to start with you. The cheat sheet. Tell me the things you're looking for and why to bet this weekend.
All the pressure is Aaron Rodgers, guys. It's all on him this weekend. He's at home. He's the favorite. He's had his best season of his career. He'll be the MVP. He has got to win this game. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he starts this game. He does not play well from behind. Worth noting, if Tampa Bay gets up a little bit, maybe it's worth springing some money on the money line there. Turnovers are the key in that game. Tampa Bay +6 this season in their 2 wins over winning teams, including +4 last weekend against it. If they cannot turn the ball over, they cannot score against good teams. Very well documented. And win the red zone. That's for the second game. Chiefs, 32nd in red zone defense. The last 7 weeks of the season, Bills #1 in red zone defense. Has a little bit of luck, though, for the playoffs so far. Both offenses have to finish well in the red zone for each to win the game.
All right, mine. Listen, Tampa Bay, 3rd straight road game and 5th in 6 weeks. I know they're flying first class. They got the charter. It's nice. They got the feet up. Again, traveling 5 out of 6 straight weekends is a tall order. No team has won 3 straight playoff road games and gotten to the Super Bowl in a decade. Second, Josh Allen. Will he face second half adversity? We've been talking about this for weeks. You know, I faded the Bills against the Colts. I lost fading them last week against the Ravens. Josh Allen has not trailed. He's not taken a snap in the second half while losing a football game since the Hail Murray game in Arizona. And finally, Aaron Rodgers versus pressure. He folded. I'm sorry, Aaron. You folded in the first meeting with Tampa. He struggled against the blitz this season. 4 of his 5 interceptions have come against the blitz. How will he fare today against Tampa's pressure?
Well, Jason, I'll pick up right where you left off. Rodgers against the blitz. My first thing is ignoring the week 6 results. He was terrible against the blitz. I think Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers will be ready for this. I like Aaron Rodgers. I'm ignoring the week 6 results for both this game and the Chiefs-Bills game. Live betting totals. If this game starts slow, which we know it can for the Green Bay Packers, I will hammer the over. I love it. Final. Bills are a covering machine. I don't need to explain my love for the Bills. I'll jump off a table if they win. You already know that. They've covered 9 of their last 10. They've won 8 straight games overall. Bills 4-1. ATS is an underdog this season. Now, finally, we got 1:45. Quick questions. Let's get to them. Coming up next and first, Jake, is Tom Brady the GOAT?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Max, best player matchup to watch this weekend?
I would say Josh Allen against Honey Badger.
I will say Tyreek Hill, same game, Tyreek Hill on the outside against Tre'Davious White.
Conrad next. Coming in from Jonah, which game are you most excited for? Bills, obviously. What are you guys thinking?
The Chiefs helmet behind me, I think tells you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the one where Sarah gets body slammed through a table after the Bills win, right?
Correct. Next. Sean T, who will be the next coach for the Texans?
I'm getting interviewed tomorrow. Hopefully me. Let's see what happens.
Jeff, you stole my joke. I just said Josh McCown this morning, or yesterday, whatever day it was. Geoff Schwartz is up next.
Next, Josh C, is this the year Buffalo wins it all? What do you guys think?
I think you should answer this, Sarah.
Yes. Yes. My future's going to come home, baby. Next. Calvin T, any chance Tom Brady hangs it up after this season?
No.
No shot.
He's playing until he's 45. Zach K, would you consider this Aaron Rodgers' best season?
Yes, definitely.
It's up there. I don't have all of them in front of me. Sorry, Zach.
MVP this season. Okay, let's see. Matt Y, where does Deshaun Watson end up? Quick.
Jason, go.
Jets, Jets.
We have to end it there.
Bad homer. Oh.
That's just how we got to finish it. All right, you guys, good luck with your bets for later today. We hope they're great games, and we look forward to seeing you next time for Geoff Schwartz and Jason McIntyre and all of us here with Fox Sports and Fox Bet. I'm Sara Perlman, and we will see you next time. Good luck.